big breakout season for you. How do you feel your game kind of developed after, big breakout season for yourself?
I think it's just a confidence thing. I mean, after a year like that, obviously you don't want to let it get to your head or anything, but I think it's just one of those things where you look forward to going into next season, and you want to do it again. But at the same time, you always have to look at ways to improve your game. So, I think one mindset that I've had going into this season is just, try to get more assists this year or something. Maybe try to make more plays while you're out there. So, yeah, that's kind of just the mindset I've had after that season.
So the plan is for you to go back to UConn and play another season
Yes.
there. Obviously, with the season that you had and the playing in the Frozen Four, or not the Frozen Four, sorry, it's just the NCAA tournament, those games and how big that felt. How do you feel that tournament specifically helped you get to another level of play?
Yeah, I mean, those are the games under the bright lights. I think those are games that you dream of playing in as a kid, and then when you get to those games, it's not hard to get up for. But now that you got a taste of it, I mean, it's just you want to get back there again, and you want to do it the right way this time. So,
what's been the messaging from the Sharks to you? Not just today and what they want you to work on next season, but throughout the last season too. What have they wanted you to work on?
Just keep on getting bigger, stronger, faster. It's just one of those things where I'm a smaller guy, and I know that. They know that. I'm not going to shy away from that, right? So I think it's just that part of, keep developing my game on the ice, keep getting bigger, stronger, so I can compete with these men out there, So I think that's just the overall message.
What's it like being back around the boys here? Does it feel any different this year?
No. I mean, it's the same thing, right? You always come back. You look forward to seeing the guys in the organization, the rest of the prospects. It's always nice. I get to hang out with Quentin Musty all the time back home. So it's always nice coming here and having an automatic buddy to hang out with all the time. But, it's not different or anything. It's just another year coming back, getting to meet some of the new guys, some of the new prospects, and, kind of just bring them in.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of that, I mean, I know, some of them are probably pretty new to you, but has anyone stood out? What have your impressions been of the new guys?
Yeah, I mean, they're great. They're very skilled group of guys. I haven't been I haven't been on the ice with Misa or anything like that, but, I've heard he's a great player. Everybody just looks solid. I think that they did a great job this year at the draft. I was out there with the goalie that we drafted in the first round. He was really good. So, yeah, I think the Sharks organization did a great job this year.
Who do they got you rooming with?
With Musty.
Oh, so you two are the troublemakers, the veteran troublemakers here this week, it sounds like?
You'll see us around a lot together, so, yeah.
What are your impressions of maybe some, of the other picks? Obviously, like McKinney, I don't know if you've seen him play, but going to Michigan next year, a guy you might play against, and obviously with the influx of CHL to the NCAA, how does that maybe not change the mentality, but just the talent level is just going to continue to rise at the NCAA level?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great challenge. I think it'll be interesting to see how those guys do. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I think some guys will do good. I think some guys won't, excel as good as I thought they were going to. But that's the exciting part about it, the unknown, right? It all depends on who shies away from it and who embraces it. So I think it'll be really cool to see how everything kind of pans out.
Quentin, I hear you're going to cause some trouble with Joey Muldowney this couple days here. Is that true?
I guess so. We're roommates here, so yeah, it's good having someone from back home, to be here with me, and obviously still trying to meet new people, and every year there's not a lot more new kids, so yeah, just trying to meet as many people as possible.
You know him from back home in Buffalo, or is he somebody you trained with in Toronto over the summer?
Joey?
Yeah.
He lives like 5 minutes from me
at
home, so yeah, we grew up playing together against each other, and yeah, I've been friends since probably 7, 8, so.
Nice. So when, you have that, and obviously you guys have been to development camps before, you are, I would argue, one of the most veteran people at this development camp. To see those two, you guys kind of maybe take some guys under your wing, and kind of nice to see some of these new kids coming through and kind of show them what it's like in San Jose a little bit.
Yeah, obviously that's what you try to do when you're here, but yeah, a lot of guys, they got to do it on their own. Everyone's came through this camp. That's, you come through and, you learn as you go. So, just trying to let them, not get in their way and, take a lot of it in. But, yeah, when you're going to eat and stuff like that, taking them with you, going different places, showing them around. So.
For yourself, what's been the messaging for you, obviously, with the Barracuda at the end of the season, working here now? There's been a lot more conversation with you recently compared to a lot of the other guys here. What's been the messaging of what they want you to work on during these 3 days here?
Yeah, I mean it's a development camp, so you're not, we're getting too much done in the 3 days. It's just I think everyone's goal for development camps is just get your prospects and get everyone to meet each other and have a good time. So.
Does this camp feel different for you after having gone through it a few times, or not really?
Yeah, it feels the same actually. Yeah, it's been kind of the same thing for 3 years here now, and it's a lot of fun to be here. I mean, it's right in the middle of summer, and the weather's great always. So yeah, it's nice to get somewhere new and meet new people.
Yeah, what has it been like meeting the new guys? Has anyone stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, that was the first skate here today, but they're all young, and everyone's got a lot of skill, and everyone can play the game here. So yeah, it was fun to watch out there today, and I'm excited to see them throughout the week.
Sure.
Obviously, you've gone against Misa and Dickinson for a while, and potential of being on their team. Obviously, you skated with Sam a little bit, but the pick of Michael Misa, that's a guy who you've played against for a couple years now. Like, how does that excite you? What do you know about him as a player, just going against him?
Yeah, he's just all around just a good player. He does everything the right way, and he's fun to watch. Even when you're playing against him, it's a pain to play against him. On the offensive side and the defensive side. So yeah, Sharks made a great pick there, and got a 200-foot player, and he's going to be special.
A lot of OHL guys in this draft, but I mean through the Sharks organization now, I mean to finally have a lot of those top guys, yourself included, be part of this organization. What does it say about the OHL as a whole, even with all this NCAA and back and forth stuff, just to see the draft they had and the Sharks' commitment to them too?
Yeah, I mean I think it's the rule change is great. I mean before that, the OHL's always been producing high-end talent, and this year, this draft especially, you can see a lot of high-end kids coming out of there, and I think the rule will just make it a little better. Kids can a lot more kids will come over in the younger days, and then they'll go off to college, and I think that's the right path for most kids, and you always have the option to stay there for as long as you need. So yeah, it's a great development program, and a lot of fun.
I want to ask you, with the phenomenon that Shoresy has become, what is it like playing in Sudbury? I mean, do you see any of the actors around town? What is that atmosphere?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of years back, our whole team was in an episode. They film it right at our rink. So, yeah, and then this year, one of my teammates was actually a character in the show. So this past year and then this coming year. So, yeah, it's cool seeing them around. They come to a lot of games, and it's always nice when they were there, and they get the fans going and stuff. So yeah, it was nice meeting them and having them around.
Yeah, kind of a unique experience for junior hockey, right?
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
How did you feel? Obviously, last time you were here was preseason. It's good to get back in the area and get skating again.
Yeah, it's exciting. I was obviously looking forward to coming down here. Felt good, obviously day one. So I think just knocking some rust off for me. Haven't skated like that in a while. So yeah, just build day by day.
Quick turnaround for you after a long season in London. How would you describe your season as a whole, and just what developed the most while you were back at juniors?
Yeah, I mean, hard to complain about much of the season. As a team, obviously, won it all, and I think personally, I think a lot of things went right for me, and I think everything for me developed really well. I think a big thing I was happy with was how my defensive side improved game by game, day by day. So something I was looking to improve all season, and something I think that did at the end of the day.
You mentioned the defensive side of the game and what to develop. When you left training camp, what was the message to you about what to work on?
Yeah, it was a lot of everything. I think a big thing was the defensive side, just working on fine-tuning everything there, and just at the end of the day, just maturing, getting bigger, getting stronger, all that kind of stuff.
How does camp feel different this year for you, if at all?
Yeah, I think the only difference from this year to last year's, I'm a year older. Not much has changed. Obviously, new faces and stuff like that, but a lot of similar concepts with what we're learning and stuff like that.
Yeah, how's it been being back, around some of the boys after, not playing in the same group as a lot of them for so long?
Yeah, it's obviously different. A lot of guys I'm used to playing against, and I guess looking forward to playing with them now.
So what are some of the things you're focusing on between now to the start of the season?
Yeah, just getting back to work. I think obviously season for me just wrapped up recently, so at this point it's just focus on getting back into the swing of things through the summer, working out, getting in in the gym, on the ice, all that kind of stuff.
Who's your roommate? I know you're close with the new guy, Michael Misa. Who do they got you rooming with this time?
I'm with Sharp.
Okay.
Zach Sharp. So yeah, no, he's good. We've in 2 days, but yeah, it's been good.
What'd you think? Obviously, I know we saw the picture online of the FaceTime when they drafted him. There was a lot of rumors where they go Misa. What was your reaction when they finally said Michael Misa was the guy?
Yeah, I was pretty happy. Obviously, it's nice to have a guy that come here, and obviously you think of the player that he is. It's really exciting. So, yeah, I mean, I've played against him for far too long, so it'll be a change playing with him for once.
Would it be fun to have a pass to you to Misa to Haltonen and finally get that combination instead of going against each other? Just two, you finally complete the trifecta now.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be nice. I'd rather him put the puck in the net for us rather than against us.
Yeah. When you have a season like you did in juniors, how do you carry that momentum forward into this year?
Yeah, I think it's just taking what worked for me. Obviously, it's a completely different level, here, and what hopefully the next level is for me. It's obviously completely different, so it's just understanding there's a big jump to be had, but at the same time, sticking with what's got me to where I have, and just learning everything I can, soaking everything in.
What's it like being out there on the ice with your dad?
I love it. I mean, it's just like, I think it's a kid's dream just to play in the NHL, but then getting my dad there too. I think it's pretty good. I'm getting all his info and everything. Yeah.
And then for these next few days, what are you kind of looking to work on?
Just develop, kind of see where I'm at with everyone else. I'm just here to have fun, and yeah, just kind of do as best as I can.
How long have you known that you were going to be coming to development camp? Obviously, we all just found out yesterday, but I'm sure you've known for a little while.
I knew I was for sure going after the draft, but I think before that a little bit.
You just have an idea?
Yeah, I think I had an idea. But, yeah.
I mean, obviously, you grew up here, you watch your dad play here, and you see all the accolades, you watch his jersey go in the stands, and now you get to put on a jersey. I know it's just a prospect scrimmage, but, I mean, you think they might unretire 12 for the prospect scrimmage, or you're trying to create your own identity here today?
I mean, it would be great to wear 12, but I kind of want to be my own person for a little bit, so, I mean, yeah.
What's been the biggest, I guess, obviously, playing where you have a lot of guys are juniors, NCAA, and BCHL, NAHL, it is, another level up that these guys are on. What's the biggest thing that you're taking away from going against the Musties or the Misas or Dickinson?
Yeah, they're just they're another level ahead. So you kind of just take what they do day to day and on the ice and kind of put it into your own system and learn from them. Yeah.
How much do you take what you're going to learn from these 3 days and really, we know your dad is giving you all these advice, but just on ice, it's just a different feeling of guys your age. How much does that help take you in when you go into the game situations, how you can use these in those games?
Yeah, I just got to be a sponge, kind of take everything, and just put it into my own, own arsenal. And, everything that they give me, I just got to store it in my brain and kind of think about it, later when I'm doing the drills or whatever. But, yeah, you just got to be a sponge.
When you were growing up here and you're on the ice with your dad, you're thinking, oh, I want to be like my dad. Do you ever think that put on a jersey, skate on the rink here, part of an official organization for a little bit here?
Yeah, I've always wanted to play in NHL, play for the Sharks, so it's always been a dream for me. So, I mean, yeah, it's, even if it's just dev camp, prospect scrimmage, yeah, it's great.
What's it say about the organization? Just, I mean, Greer, Clow, all these guys, I mean, your dad's obviously here now, Jumbo sticks around, just to have these guys stay within the organization, take care not only of their players, but now they're kids too. What does it say about the organization?
Oh, it's really ran well. I think they have something that not a lot of other teams have. So I think it's really special, and getting to know from. I know me because I've been around them all the time, but
100%.
Some other guys they get to learn from them and see what they've been doing and kind of get tips from them as well.
No more special treatment for you, just from everybody else now, right?
Yeah.
So what was your dad's advice on how to approach this?
Just have fun. He just told me to have fun. That was it. So just take it in, have fun. Just be myself. Don't be too stressed about anything. So. Yeah.
And when you guys get back from Sequoia there?
Oh yeah, it was a fun little hike. Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
When did you guys get back?
Oh, we got back the day of the draft, I believe. Yeah.
Oh. What were the emotions? I know it's just dev camp, but what were the emotions of stepping out on the ice in a Shark sweater?
Great. There's nothing else to explain. It's just a great feeling. Yeah. That's just pretty
great.
much it. Yeah, just
Well,
great. Yeah. Happy. Yeah.
Do they have you rooming with anybody, or you just living at home?
Yeah, I'm with Nate Miskey.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still got to be one of the guys, right? You can't just live at home and
Exactly.
get family together every night.
Yeah.
now.
Want the full experience.
Yeah, there you
sure,
go.
Yeah.
Off the ice, I mean, obviously you're around your dad, you're around Jumbo and guys like Will and Mac. Have you gotten any guidance from them?
Of course, yeah. Like way to eat, to nutrition, to sleep, to everything, like just day-to-day stuff. I mean, they're always like, they're my friends, they're my buddies, so like, take everything for, you can't take everything for granted from them,
Yeah. Chipotle sponsorship, like.
Maybe. I'd love that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would. What's it like? I mean, like you said, you're meeting a lot of new guys. Has anyone impressed you with their game, or just off the ice? What has that been like?
I mean, yeah, I think McKinney looked pretty good out there. Liked his game, and then I mean, I've seen most of you guys like from last year, and they've all grown. Like no one specific, but yeah.
So you're on the ice with guys like Nabby and Brian Miller. So what's it kind of like being on the ice with guys like that who have played?
Yeah, it's super cool. Brian Miller used to play for the Canucks when I was younger, so I saw him there, and obviously who he is, and like Jumbo Joe is out there too, which is pretty cool. Patrick Marleau. So yeah, it's just super cool being out with those guys.
Obviously you just got here, but any impressions on San Jose and how you're liking it here?
Where we're staying is unbelievable. It feels like a vacation at the hotel, and and all the rink setup's super nice too. So yeah, I've really enjoyed my time so far.
And just for the next few days, what are you focusing on?
Just taking as much information as I can, like learning from the goalie coaches here, and trying to take back things that they want me to work on, and then come back for dev camp or rookie camp at start of the season and show that I've improved a lot.
I know Askey's not here, but Matt Davis, you, Askarov, and the NHL, you got Lindgren and Thompson. Kind of an influx of right-handed catching goalies. Is it something that kind of just makes you feel, I don't want to say like you're left out, like you're not like a real, I don't know, is it kind of nice to have another goalie where you can kind of talk over and it's a little bit more angles with the glove? I know it could be a little bit different. Is that kind of nice to have?
It is kind of nice to have, playing with another righty. Yeah, I noticed it actually yesterday. Yeah, there's so many righties here, which is cool. I enjoy it. I wonder how much different it is for the players, if both your goalies are righties, like Washington was last year. But yeah, it is cool.
A couple guys were complimenting your play on the ice out there. I know it's just development camp and it's just a lot of shots, but just how did you feel the first skate in San Jose went? Obviously acclimating to a lot of busy couple of days here. How did you feel you performed? A lot of guys were praising you. So
yeah, I felt good. I felt like my feet were under me. I feel like there are a lot of areas to improve, and I know that, and I'm gonna have a couple big focuses this summer, and hopefully improve a lot coming into the next year. But in terms of my skating, I feel like my skating and tracking and reading is all good, and then there's just some other things I need to figure out.
When we talked to you on Friday, you said you weren't too sure about who was going to take you in here. What have you just thought of the facility and the area? Just what are your impressions of San Jose?
Yeah, as I said before, just super nice. It feels like we're on a tropical vacation or something. So yeah, it's really cool.
Who do they got you rooming with?
I'm rooming with Pilon.
Okay.
So yeah, it's good because I kind of already knew him from the dub.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
With the pipeline, and Askey being here, a lot of people, I think, were surprised, the Sharks took Billy in the first round. How are you approaching, sort of where you see your role here longer term, obviously? A few years away, probably, but what is, your ultimate goal, and how do you approach it with, another guy who's a stud prospect? Also in the net.
Yeah, obviously my goal, I want to play in the NHL and be the best I can be for the longest time. I remember watching Askey a couple years ago. I think he's an unbelievable goalie too. So, kind of just let it pan out. Haven't really thought about it too much, but just focus on doing the best I could do in my circumstances, and then just let the rest happen.
For sure. Have you connected with him since you got drafted?
No, not yet.
That'll happen
It'll be
eventually.
cool though, yeah, it'll be cool when I get to meet him.
Yeah, learn from him, compare notes and all that. Like Max was saying, you're facing a lot of shots. Which guys out there have impressed you so far?
Wetchy's really good. He's a hard worker, great shot. So yeah, he's put the work in the summer and looks like he's improved a lot.
Nice.
So what are your impressions on San Jose, like the facilities and the city and everything?
It's top notch, staying in Santana Rose, like unreal experience downtown. Not downtown, but like it's a very nice, plaza there and shopping mall, so it's top notch all the way down. And it's unreal talking to all these coaches, assistant GM, development guys, and just feel really special as a player, and can't wait to get things started here.
And being on the ice with guys like Patrick Marleau and Jumbo, what does that mean to you, and how does that feel being here?
Well, definitely starstruck for sure.
I was like asking Jumbo for a pick. I was like, after that, I was like, wow. You know, just when I was a kid, just look up to him as a player, and just pretty cool.
And camp's only for a few days, but what are some of those things that you're focusing on while here?
I think I try to be a sponge here, soak in as much information as I could, learning from the older guys, and learn as much as I could.
What are you getting from the the development coaches like Luke and Louis Mass and guys like that out there?
I think Luke taught me a lot, just making the small details even more specific. That's something I learned a lot with scanning and, picking up rims, boxing out. I learned a lot of small details that's going to benefit my game in the future.
When you look at San Jose here and your goal is to play here, and you understand there's a lot of work to do, but does skating here give you kind of that just extra little bit of drive to you want to get here and soon this is where you want to play?
Oh, 100%. With the city, the coaching staff, and the development guys, just motivate even more, just try to develop faster. But, I'm not in a rush to do anything. I like to take things slow, step by step, and wherever I get to, I'm happy and I'm proud of myself, and that's all that matters.
What's your mom said? I mean, sure she's keeping it along and following the videos, seeing all the pictures of you in an NHL camp, but what does it mean to you and your family to see even just something as simple as the development camp here?
I think they're just extremely proud of me, how far I came as a person and a hockey player, and she's just proud as a mother.
I think your plan is to go back to Oshawa this upcoming season, then go to the NCAA. Is that right?
Yes, I'm going back to Oshawa, develop another year, and then hopefully move on to college and then turn pro here.
Why is that the right path for you? To go one more year in the Ontario League and then go to the.
Within this year, I was not, I was in a lower role, and with next year, a lot of guys leaving the team, I'm going to step up a lot for on both sides of the ice, so I can hope to develop my game even more. And after that, I'll go to college and play there until I dominate the league, I'll say, and then turn pro here.
Seems like a lot of guys from junior are contemplating going the college route. Do you see that as sort of a more competitive level, I guess, older players, that kind of thing? Do you see that maybe a reason why maybe so many guys are thinking about that?
I think just playing against older guys and more system teams will develop you as a hockey player for sure. And with less game played, more structure and more practice, you can really dedicate it to your craft and get better at little details and things that with 60-something game that can't do. You're always on the road. You're always focused on the next game instead of really just slow down the pace of you're developing and focusing on your weaknesses and target those.
What's the longest bus ride in the Ontario League? Up to Sudbury or to Sioux?
Sioux's pretty bad, but compared to the Dubs, it's nothing. So I can't complain at all.
It looked like yesterday you were dominating defensively at times. Does that kind of give you some confidence, if you're being able to stop up a guy like Michael Misa and stuff like that?
I think, the goal for me is not to stop anyone. It's more like trying to learn little details. I didn't execute the game plan the coach I have for me. I played it too passive instead of being more aggressive. That's something I would work on. I didn't look at that thing as a success. I look at it as a learning experience and moving on. I would like to fail. I want to learn from failing, and that's part of how I am as a hockey player. And going on in the future will just benefit even more.
Sorry if you already answered this, but what's the reception been like back home in China after you were drafted?
It's definitely, I inspired a lot of kids, I'll say, and hopefully I opened some door for kids and some hope for the new generation, and that's what I hope I'm doing right now.
Any message that you've gotten that stood out to you?
I mean, my phone's been blown up lately, so just like congrats and in general, just happy as a, Asian heritage and a Chinese heritage that someone got drafted and broke their record, and hopefully I can keep going, doing what I do, and make the team one day.
What's the plan tonight?
The plan, just getting ready for tomorrow's scrimmage, have fun at the cooking lesson. Hopefully, I'm one of the best there, and yeah, we'll go from there.
No Giants game, anything like that. Just the cooking. That's the kind of the fun event tonight.
Yeah, plan for tonight. That's cooking.
All right, thanks, Hoshi.
Thank you.
San Jose or California or?
Not my first time, but I've been to LA a couple times, but first time in San Jose for sure.
Thoughts on
It's up to you.
when you first got drafted? You know, just what your reaction was.
It was a lot of relief, a lot of happiness. You know, I got the phone calls. It was actually a funny story. My agent was texting me like we're pushing hard for San Jose, and my cousin calls me 3 times. I hang up all 3. he calls my sister. She runs downstairs, and it's Mike Greer on the phone. I'm like, what? Like I would have picked up the phone if I knew it was him.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know, my whole family was there. A lot of hugs, a lot of tears from the parents, and it was really nice.
It's a long couple of days, stressful.
Oh, yeah.
That just nice to sort of get that call, right?
Yeah, I felt like ecstatic, like the whole year was worth it for that moment, just pure enjoyment, pure happiness.
Did you? I mean, was that about where you thought you'd go, or did you think, you know, maybe I won't get drafted today?
You know, I was expecting later rounds, you know, shorter player, bigger draft, but you know, when it was ticking down there, I was like, San Jose, I've talked to them a couple of times, and I was texting my agents like, this could be it. I was like, all right, I'm ready.
What are your thoughts on San Jose so far?
It's beautiful. You know, I know Henry Thrun on the team. He's a Harvard guy, St. Mark's guy. So I've been talking to him, and it's just like a beautiful area. He told me a couple spots to go to, and it's really nice.
What about your meetings with San Jose made you think that could be a spot for you?
You know, just like talking with their scouting staff, Thomas Vanek. Like Blake Vanek was on the team earlier in the year, and then Thomas Vanek talked to me, and I was like, I like this group of guys that they have here, and you know, I thought it was really nice.
For yourself, I mean, there's a lot of talk about how long the draft took, just time-wise. When it gets to that late, I mean, how do you stay engaged and interested throughout that whole situation?
I was just like, I had some family over, some friends, and I was like, earlier rounds, I was trying to avoid watching it, you know, but I loved watching, seeing all my buddies go. Like, Jacob Kwasniewski went right before me, and I was like, my mom went crazy. She was like, let's go. So I was just like watching to see if anyone else I know would get drafted as well.
I hope she went more crazy when you got drafted. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
When you look at, you know, you as a player, right, we look at a lot of the size of the players in the draft. What is your style that you like to bring that you think can translate to the next level?
I think I'm a very smart player, two-way player who plays any position. I played power play this year, penalty kill, first line, second line, up and down the lineup. You know, I think I can have an impact on the game. Very competitive, intense player, and do just about anything asked.
Growing up, obviously, Joe Pavelski was a big factor, big player here, 7th round pick, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you see that and you view him and how they're willing to give anybody an opportunity here and kind of use that as motivation?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like seeing those later guys, it's not just Pavelski. I know like a couple other guys later drafted from San Jose have had good careers. Like that gives me a lot of hope. Like they see things that other teams don't, and they make players thrive here.
Who's your roommate here at camp this week?
I got Heisey. It's a funny thing. My buddy Mike Fisher here, he told me that he was fully German, didn't speak any English. I get to the room and he starts speaking English. I'm like, that guy just told me a complete lie.
Did you tell Heisey?
Yeah.
What was his reaction to that?
He's like, oh, Fish is just such a bum.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned as a bigger draft, but do you think over the years now the league has been changing quite a bit with speed, skill, which kind of helps maybe you don't need to be as big anymore?
Yeah, I think the league is adapting and changing every year. Like you see faster, stronger guys. You see bigger and also smaller guys having more impacts. Like Jesper Bratt's a very small guy, but he's very fast. You have to be fast to play in this league. You have to be smart. You can't just be big and strong. You have to have a bunch of different abilities.
Who else do you know in the Sharks organization besides obviously Michael and Henry?
Ron, I know of Will Smith. Like we've been in the rink together a couple of times, but you know, other than that, I don't really know too many people here in the organization besides the Greers, I guess. Yeah.
How do you know the Greers?
Well, Jaden went to St. Sebastian's and I went to St. Mark's, so I got to play against him. And my cousin went to school with him, so I got to hang out with him a little bit when he was still in Massachusetts. Yeah.
You know, how do you kind of create space for yourself, you know, on the ice a little bit? I mean, like you mentioned, you kind of have a hard-nosed type approach, right? But how do you kind of, what's the challenges of sort of creating space for yourself?
You just got to like learn to read the play and trust your abilities and play on instincts. Like you see that the D-man takes a crossover one way, you know the other side's going to be open, so you have to attack that full speed and make sure you take advantage of that ice.
what's next for you, and what do you see as maybe the areas of your game you'd like to improve?
All areas, honestly. Like, everyone needs to get faster and stronger. So those are two main focuses for me. I think I'll always working on my shot and in tight ability, because most of the goals scored in the NHL are in tight nose areas. So those are big for me.
Who's sort of the players you maybe looked up to, growing up?
Growing up, I'm a Boston guy, so Marshy, Bergie. It was great to see Marshy when it got this year. Oh my God. Yeah, but out here, I loved watching Pavelski play. Like, he's not the biggest guy, but he's just so smart, so skilled, so talented.
Do you take some of Marchand's game?
A little bit, a little bite.
Rats.
Yeah, more in practice than in games, I've been told.
All right. Who did?
I'm sorry.
Keep going.
Go ahead.
Just wondering, how did the escape room go yesterday? Who was the best? Who was the worst?
Well, we finished first, so
very nice.
we got the gift cards today, which was really funny. But Polk Camp was our team leader, and we like to use our hands for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else was on the team?
Landon Marleau, Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the two big brains of our group.
Who were the smallest brains? Who was the last place?
Probably me and Polk Camp. Honestly.
No, I mean of the entire competition.
I don't. We didn't stick around. See, we were done in like 25 minutes. Some groups, some groups took like the full hour, so we were gone by then.
What are your thoughts of just being on the ice with guys like Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau?
Joe Thornton's it's so funny. Like, you watch him growing up, and then you meet him, like, you hear everything's true. Joe Thornton's like the biggest goofball beauty like in the league. Like, and Marleau, he's so skilled. We were watching him tip pucks yesterday. Didn't miss anything. Still got it to this day.
This is what, your third, fourth development camp, I think? It's up there.
Yeah.
What's been the difference? It just feels like last year and this year, the talent level, just you see that difference. How exciting is that for you? You get your hands on some of these guys already, but now some of the new guys. How exciting is that as a coach who runs these things?
Yeah, it's been fun. Some size, some skill, some ability. Fun to be part of.
What's maybe of the two groups, some things that have stuck out to you, maybe a couple guys and a couple of their skills? What's been the biggest eye-openers, if you will?
Yeah, like I said, I think the group as a whole, huge amount of upside, size, skill, ability. Individuals, it's hard. It's one skate.
Yeah.
It's hard. Misa, obviously, you see why he was selected where he was. Musty looked good. I thought Eric Polkamp looked good. Just to mention a few. But like I said, it's one practice. But you can see a lot of hope.
I think the big unknown might have been Simon Wang. I mean, obviously, not too many people kind of knew who he was going into the draft. You could see that skating ability. It's going to take some time for him, but as him as a player, there's some potential there. What do you see in him and just your conversations with him? How do you see him as a person and a player?
Yeah, I mean, the size jumps off the page, and skating ability, that's not a combination that you get a lot, which is good, and he's coachable. I think that's the other thing is, for me, these camps are, some guys are ahead of others as far as where they're at in their development. For me, it's their approach. Are they coachable? Are they coming in? Are they paying attention to meetings? Are they engaged? Are they asking the right questions? And he would check those boxes.
Yeah. Okay.
Where's Wallenius, Haltonen, and Landon?
They came at the end of the year last year, so they didn't come to this. Just from coming from Europe with the time change and everything, they got some exposure last year. So, no, doesn't say anything about where they're at or anything. It's just they're not here this week.
Do things feel a little different now? I mean, Mike has said sort of starting to shift more into a win now mindset. Do you guys feel like at these camps and just generally with the prospects, you guys sort of have what you need moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think, as far as, fitting into slots and everything, that's more of a management thing, but you can see the overall talent level and, like I said, the size and skating ability, hands, everything as an overall kind of assessment is, you can see it.
When you look at some of the new guys they got, you mentioned Misa, but is it, I know you're not a goalie coach. You had Askey last year. Matt Davis comes in and signs, and I'm sure you've worked with him, and now Ravensburg. And is it kind of weird always having these righty goalies? Does it throw things off? Maybe as a player, when you see the shooting, when you have this many, now obviously you get more familiar with it. But just does it do anything to the mind? I mean, how do you feel like guys are reacting to seeing all these right-handed catching?
I don't think it really factors in. It's kind of a cool
factoid, I guess. But as far as does it affect anything, I don't think it really does.
So as a coach, what are some of the things you're looking for during these few days?
Like I said, I think guys that are there early, stay late, all those kind of intangibles that you see. Do they act like professionals? Are they taking care of their bodies? Do they look like they're ready to go in the morning? Are they engaged in the meetings? Pay attention and ask the right questions. I think all that stuff's important.
Was anything that stood out, like really surprised you here? I know it's just one day, but
Really surprised me that the defensemen beat the forwards in the shootout.
Yes, and they beat him quick too.
That surprised me. Other than that, no.